do this, and this, and this all have in common? They are all a form of investment. Well, at least for now. For those of you who aren't chronically online, this is a Labubu. Brainchild of Hong Kong-based artist Ka-Sing Leung, they gained notoriety after being endorsed by the likes of Lisa from Blackpink and David Beckham, making it one of the, if not the, most sought-after product at Pop Mart, a Beijing-based toy company that made $1.8 billion in sales in 2024, in large part due to this, whose share price rocketed more than 1,000% in over a year because of this. But why is it so popular? And why are there actual venture capital firms putting money into this? Well, some people could argue that it's kind of cute, but I am arguing that it's all in the delivery system. You see, most of Pop Mart's products are sold in what is called blind boxes, but you admittedly don't go in fully blind. For each collection, it is said on the side of the box what you might get along with the possibility of which one you will get. If there's a rare one, for example, the box tells you that you have a 1 in 72 chance of actually getting it. But you won't know which one until you open the box. And we will get back to that little point in a minute. So judging by the tsunami of unboxing videos online, it has become clear that it has become as much about the experience as the product itself inside. That anticipation you feel when after purchasing and before you open is actually very similar to another game of chance with another similar reward pattern. Gambling. It essentially hits the same pleasure centers as gambling. There is a reason, after all, why China is banning the sale of these blind boxes to kids below the age of 8. But there is another aspect to this that also plays off human nature, our need to complete things. And this is where the secondary market comes in. Remember I mentioned the rare ones? In an effort to complete their collections, these secret Labubus have been popping up on secondary markets like eBay at almost triple their prices. Most recently, a Labubu/Vans old school vinyl plush doll sold on eBay for over $10,000 and it wasn't even the most expensive of these dolls ever sold. So, should you invest in this craze? Where can you even invest? Let's start with the mothership itself. Should you invest in Pop Mart? As it stands, Pop Mart reported a record-breaking first half of 2025 where revenue jumped 200% and net profit jumped 400%. CEO Wan Ning says that it is not only on track to meet its 20 billion yuan target, but that reaching 30 billion yuan would be, in his own words, quite easy. Because in the pipeline is the mini version of Labubus, which you can now apparently dangle from your phone. And before you scoff, the series that Labubus are a part of, the Monster series, raked in 4.81 billion yuan or almost $700 million in the first 6 months of 2025 alone, making up almost 35% of its total revenue. This news was enough to send Pop Mart's share price soaring past 330 Hong Kong dollars before retreating a little to around 320 Hong Kong dollars as at August 28th. But have investors missed the boat? Hao Hong, managing partner and CIO of Lotus Asset Management, thinks that the stock will likely make new highs in the coming weeks. Bloomberg data shows overwhelming buy recommendations, 40 of them versus 2 hold and 1 sell. While there is always a chance of fatigue setting in, Pop Mart is looking overseas for its growth, which tripled in 2024 alone, and in particular, it is looking to the US, which compared to the rest of its markets is still relatively small. Wan Ning said that sales from North America and Asia Pacific this year would equal China sales in 2024. It already has 40 stores in the US and is looking to add another 10 before the year is out. If you believe in that growth story and Pop Mart's investment into its IPs, then we could be in for another good 12 months at least of numbers. But don't forget that pesky little trade war is still going on and Pop Mart is very tight-lipped about the impact it sees from it. But what about the dolls themselves? Here is where we run into a fundamental rule of investing. It's all about the timing. As anybody who has watched any episode of Pawn Stars would know, the price of pop culture collectibles very much depends on the zeitgeist. The resale price of Barbie dolls went up after the Barbie movie became box office gold. But not everything is Spider-Man issue 1. And let's not forget about this fella who spent 230,000 ringgit on a limited edition bear brick and couldn't sell it, even though he generously knocked off 100,000. Right now, the secondary market prices are all being inflated by demand, but that could change just as quickly. Those among us old enough to remember the frenzy around Beanie Babies at one point, where clever marketing pushed the price of these $5 toys to the hundreds of thousands. While some are still worth that much, according to Alex Fong, a pop culture consignment director at Golden Auctions, Labubus are expected to follow a very similar path. The early ones, the limited edition and collaboration ones like the Vans edition, could hold value, but the common ones are not likely to hold anything more than the memories of you standing in line to get it.